Hi, this is the Ivy League astrologer with the July 2015 reading for Vedic Scorpio. Okay, for Vedic Scorpio, the first card out is the Page of Swords. So I feel like you're pushing forward with some idea, getting ready to kind of move into a new stage of life, a new future. But there's something nagging at you from the past, some kind of unfinished business that just needs to be resolved, needs to be wrapped up so that you can be free. But I feel like this is something unpleasant. You know, obviously, if you've been putting it off, it's unpleasant. But I feel like it's something unpleasant, like about like returning to a situation that is unpleasant for you to think about. Even I think where things were out of balance, and where maybe you behaved as sort of your worst self. You know, or you hurt someone that you actually see as a positive person or that you now see as good. I don't know. I feel like your vision of what's been happening in this situation has been turned upside down a bit, maybe recently, as you kind of revisit it in your mind. And I feel like you would like to, yeah, clean it out to move forward. This has been a big theme for Scorpios for the past couple of months. So this could be the same issue, or it could be, you know, other things that come up as we heal things. Sometimes other things come up that need to be healed. Um, I guess it feels like you're willing to bring your best self to this situation now, where previously you may have felt like you were kind of your worst self, or just like not a self that you really recognize as being like you know. So I feel like you were acting in an uncharacteristic way or something, and now you kind of want to show this person your nobility or something, or like your grace. I don't know, your heart, your real heart, I feel like is what is coming up here. Yeah, so I feel like you're like, okay, you know what? I've done some thinking about this, and I can be the bigger person here. Um, and this may be somebody who makes you feel awkward, or the interaction made you feel awkward, and like you were behaving foolishly, like you were uncertain of yourself in a way that was unfamiliar to you. So yeah, I feel like you're kind of ready to like ride back into that situation this month with a lot of pride and a lot of gusto, and just I see a lot of clear vision and emotional openness as well. I feel like you finally feel like you have the strength to kind of tame this situation. Hmm. And again, and this has been coming up for you guys too. So interesting that there's still kind of like a hangover of stuff to deal with, I guess. But you know, Saturn is back in Scorpio now, Western. I haven't looked up to see what the Vedic movement is for Saturn, but it's probably very similar to Western because Saturn is a slow moving planet. So the degree difference between Western and Vedic astrology is not as significant there. But yeah, Saturn is back in Scorpio through this summer, basically. So it's kind of urging you to tie up any loose ends so that you can move forward in a new direction come the fall. Um, yeah, again, though, I feel like you're not wanting a new start in this situation. You just want to be done with it. You want to like make a peaceful close to it, and I feel like you finally feel equal to that situation. You want to end the suffering that is around the situation. So that for some of you it will be so that you can renew a connection, but I think for others I think it feels more like you have a different dream or a different goal that you want to pursue, which feels quite ideal to you. Feels like where you've been wanting to go for a long time. So yeah, I feel like you're just trying to finish up, kind of again, tie up loose ends to get stuff moving forward with you. Kind of free yourself from any old baggage. And again, just sort of turn away from the situation with feeling like you're reconnected to yourself and you've done what you should have done what you needed to do. Someone may not feel like that's enough. Someone may be wanting more from the situation. Like they've been kind of waiting on a victory from the situation. They've been kind of waiting for it to come back around, and not just in a healed sense of like, okay, that's what happened and now we can go our separate ways, but in a way of like, okay, well now we can finally be together, you know? And it doesn't feel like that's your plan. It feels like somebody else kind of wants more than you're really looking for. But there's some kind of future plan for this relationship that's being healed or that's being renewed. But I think there's some other things that need to... The start on that, the start on whatever the future plan is, you know. And when we talk in like tarot terms, you know, it can just sound so big and looming, like, you know, the future plan for this or whatever. Like it's, you know, going to be like undying love, or it's going to be whatever, you know. But it's just that like there may be a renewal of the acquaintance in a way that is important for the future, but that you can't quite see the quite see the result of it from here, or like why it would be important from here. And I think that's because it's kind of waiting the connection and the importance of the connection. That importance is waiting to be revealed until some other structures in your life are kind of knocked down. And I feel like it's particularly a relationship, actually. A love relationship, because it's coming up with both the Lovers and the Two of Cups, which is often the soulmate card, called the soulmate card, in reverse. So it's like you have to end some kind of relationship which is negative for you before you can kind of figure out what positive thing is coming from the reacquaintance or the renewal that's at hand this month. I feel like it's an unusual relationship that you're in right now, that you're kind of waiting for it to resolve. In some cases, you're waiting for it legally to resolve in some way. But you're tied to this person and you don't want to be. And in other cases, you are tied to this person and other people are like, what are you doing? You know? But there seems to be a real tie here. And I feel like you're waiting for it to resolve into... again, for some people, it's like you're waiting for it to resolve. There's an issue that needs to be resolved. But for other people, it's like you're waiting for it to resolve into what you want, you know? It's like it wasn't... I get, again, this feeling of like it wasn't initially what you wanted, but you're settling into it as like, okay, well, this is my life, so I'm going to make it what I want. But this situation does not have the capability to bloom into what you're actually seeking. It's my blunt... That's the blunt message from the cards here. This situation is not your home. It's not where you belong. It seems like it's here for as a lesson in many ways. It's here to help you to think about what it is that you do want, and then to help you move forward from here to set that up for yourself. So in a weird way, this situation is giving you the seeds for your future. Yeah, it's nursing your future, nurturing your future in some way. So I wouldn't rush into like a huge commitment here if you're considering that this month, because it does seem like there's some shocking news. There's some big news that's going to come out that is going to change your mind about it. So keep that in mind. Yeah, definitely shocking news coming. There's a lot of the Tower is coming up this month, so there's definitely some big stuff. I think there's a lot of like fingers of God in the sky this month, and the nodes of destiny are activated quite a bit this month. Um, so maybe that's what's behind all this sort of like shocking stuff that's going on. But yeah, so I do think there's going to be some news that comes out that changes your mind about this situation, this romantic relationship that you're in right now. It could be not a romantic relationship for some people, but it's definitely coming up with a lot of love relationship cards. So I think that's going to give you an opportunity to take a time out and see what it is that you want after you know this new thing. And then have a better idea of how to set your course for the future. And what I do see here is that you will have wisdom and information enough to start on your next steps. Even if you feel like a little scared about it or a little wary, you still will have enough to make that next move forward, and I feel like you'll be supported on the next and the next move, because for a lot of people you're moving on intuition at this point, and in this resolving this other issue earlier in the month is important to regaining your strength in order to have the intuition to move forward towards the end of the month. So it's really important that you do that because it's going to reinstate your pride in some way. And I feel like it helps to solidify your pride, but also you have enough energy this month to kind of get in there, whereas before you may have felt a little just not quite up to it. So yeah, I do see you moving forward in a positive direction by the end of the month, but I do think you'll also need to take a little time out to kind of consider how to process the news that you hear and consider how you want to move forward. But yeah, again, it does feel like you have the strength and the wisdom to make good plans for the future from that point. So yeah, so that's what I'm seeing for July, Scorpio, Vedic Scorpios. And I hope that's helpful. If you would like to get in touch, my email address is theivyleagueastrologer@gmail.com. And I do have my link for scheduling down below. All the times there are in Pacific time, so take that into account when you're making an appointment. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and have a good month. Thanks. Bye.